My name is Riku. I'm a sound artist studying artificial intelligence and philosophy in Amsterdam. I don't exactly know what to tell you or where to start, but I suppose I'll start at the beginning of any given day. It's only in the subway. I usually fully wake up in the morning. I listen to my music. It's mostly the music I made the previous night. I always make music at night. I can go for 24 hours sometimes. I don't need a lot of sleep. My latest album is called Alien Zoo Called Earth, which people can order on the internet. At the moment I'm getting material together for my next album. It's called Point Blank. So I arrive in the city every morning at around 8 o'clock. The place I live is just outside of the suburbs. It's an old farm. The rent is pretty friendly, but I'd much rather live in the city. I feel I belong there much more. Yeah, my paper supervisor is a good guy. He speaks Dutch to me, which I understand, but I hardly speak it. He's gotten used to the idea that I listen to my music while he talks. He knows it sharpens my concentration.
Ik ken Riku al vanaf zijn propenduizen. Hij had in het begin, toen hij hier op de faculteit kwam, altijd heel veel kritiek op onze werkwijze. Maar de laatste tijd is hij wat bijgetrokken. Het is een heel eigenzinnige jongen. Je kunt hem wel meegeven dat hij wel altijd heel goed weet waar hij het over heeft. Hij heeft zijn zaakjes goed voorbereid en is daarom heel moeilijk van zijn standpunt af te brengen.
I don't really like concentrating on just one thing only. It's like with my music, many people call it ambient, or sometimes they call it progressive trance, or whatever label they choose to put on it. But I never really thought of it that way. I just take it in all directions. I just do with it what I do. Information, opinion, information, factuality, information, statistics, information, reports, information, theory, information, literature, information. And sometimes I believe that people have created too much information, How many human lives would it take to read all the books in this building? And where would that get that person anyway? What conclusion would they come to? Probably just 1,000 little conclusions, really. Material for another building full of books.
Yeah, Rico and I lived together for a while about a year ago. And I remember I was always sort of amused by him because he took himself so seriously. And because of his phony accent. We really had some good times together, though. I don't know where he got his attitude from, whether it was Finland or England. He always, expects everyone to know what they want in life. He never really gave me room to breathe. One morning, he just left in some kind of frenzy, and that was it. He always had those moods.
Ik heb Riku leren kennen toen ik 2 jaar terug zelf een keer in de ring stond. Na de match kwam Riku naar mij toe en begon een beetje allerlei vragen te stellen over boksen en andere vechtsporten en zo. Ik vond het wel een beetje een raar ventje, maar hij was echt geïnteresseerd. Zo is het eigenlijk allemaal een beetje begonnen. We zijn vrienden geworden en nu oefen ik soms een beetje met hem, coachen wat. Ja, wel gezellig. Riku heeft zeker wel een goede energie hoor, maar hij zal wel heel veel moeten trainen om die kracht op te bouwen en explosiviteit. Maar ja, hij is wel goed fanatiek. Hij moet er alleen maar meer tijd in gaan steken.
To relax myself after the workout, I often spent a few hours doing some photography. I always find it hard to get a clear mind about what I want to capture in my photo. I want my living environment, Modern city, old city. Modern elements in an old city, the remains of an old city under a new one. It all seems to be there.
Ja, dat was wel beter.
To make of this. Sometimes you don't see somebody for about a year and then you run into them twice in the same day. Fucking coincidence. Kerry's from Miami. She also studied artificial intelligence with me in the first year, but she stopped after her first semester was over. Shortly after that it was all over between us. So Kerry's just really just another insecure girl desperately in search for her for talents. If you ask me, she really had more than enough feeling for mathematics to be good at what she did, but I mean, she decided it wasn't enough fun. You see that a lot. Sometimes I get the feeling that every student wants their studies to be more and more about being fun. It all has to be fun. I never really got that. I just see my studies as being useful, that's all. Just no more. I've known Werner for about half a year now, since I caught him at the Love Parade, breaking into my dad's car that I brought out to attend this great event. And now Werner lives in Amsterdam for a while, calls himself an artist, but most of the time he's really just theorising out loud about, really just about anything around him. With Werner, it seems everything's an act, everything's one grand performance. Sometimes I even wonder if he's German.
Na, das ist doch ganz einfach so, dass wir heute Bildern brauchen, die es nicht mehr viel gibt. Als man hier so herumschaut in die Großstadt, in die moderne Stadt, dann sieht man, das ist alles zugebaut. Wir Menschen brauchen klare und durchsichtige Bilder. Bilder, die etwas zu tun haben mit unseres ganzes inneren Tiefsten. Hier gibt's kaum mehr was. Und das ist ganz selbstverständlich auch eine ganz andere Sache, ob man in Rotterdam oder Amsterdam ist. Hier können wir Menschen noch zumindest unsere eigene Geschichte sehen. Hier haben wir noch die alte Kirchen, die alte Zivilisation ist hier noch. Die ist ganz klar, die ist da, das kann man sehen hier. In Rotterdam, das ist alles schon lange weg. Das gibt nur das Neue noch. Das Neue, das angibt, was wir jetzt sind. Da gibt kaum mehr was für uns.
At Werner's place I usually take a while to rest, come to terms with myself. Sometimes I write in my journal while he's down the hall painting. Then I feel like going home. It's really quite amazing how much you can do in one day. Of course you have to use your time economically, and you have to have the energy to keep going, of course. But that's where I have my music. The beat in my music is like my heartbeat, and my brain receives the beat in the music, and then my heartbeat adapts to it. So as long as I listen to my music, I'll never become tired. So at night, when I'm making my music on my computer, it's like I'm composing my own energy for the following day. But people generally don't believe music can do that, influence your heartbeat, but I don't see why not. I manage to have control on everything else I do. I choose everything myself. My study, my job, my sport, which train to take on the way home. Everything is possible, I believe that. I totally believe that, there's no doubt in my mind. You just have to make choices, that's all. That's simply all there is to it. On one particular day, the bus was out of commission, and I had to walk to the farm from the subway station. And since I really wanted to get in behind my computer before nightfall, I took the shortest route through the bush and the mud. in the middle of my walk, suddenly my batteries ran out. And it was really strange because I remember all of a sudden I became extremely uncomfortable, and all of a sudden I was overwhelmed by all these sounds that I hadn't really noticed before, at least not consciously. And I was like surrounded by this entire orchestra of noises that I recognized, but somehow seemed completely new to me. And it was like a symphony of sound, and everything was working together, and it was like being composed right out there. And the trees were rustling, and I remember standing there. And, yeah, I remember standing there for quite some time, just standing there, really, not really doing anything, really. Just, I don't know, listening.